Yeah, it's coffee time with Peter Gomez on Wednesday, the 30th of July. Now, for the next 10-12 minutes, we are going to talk to Sarjo A.K. Jarju. Sarjo is the president of the Association of Gambian Students in India. Sarjo, good morning and welcome to Coffee Time.
Good morning, Uncle Peter, and thank you so very much for the invitation.
Okay, you're here on holiday, I suppose, or have you completed your education?
I've not completed yet. Okay. I'm here for an internship, alongside a holiday, I'd say, meeting family, reuniting.
Okay. Tell us about, the association you head, the Association of Gambian Students in India.
Okay, thank you very much for that question. So, the Association of Gambian Students in India, fondly called Gam-Ind, is a vibrant Gambian community in India that encompasses all the students studying in India. So, the association was founded in 2017 as a result of the students we had there at the time. Because we know there are a lot of Gambians that graduated from India, but at the time they wouldn't have an association. So the association started in 2017, and we're the 9th executive council of the said association. So by the way, I'm the 9th president of the Association of Gambian Students in India. And by the way, the association does a lot of celebrations, namely that of the Gambia's independence. Every year we celebrate it, and upon celebrating it, we always would have members of the embassy, that is the Gambian High Commission in Delhi, attending it. At some point, if you don't have the ambassador, the deputy will be in attendance, a councillor or the secretary at some point. So essentially, anything that the association is doing, the Gambian High Commission is quite aware of it. And you will be amazed to know that as far as the association is concerned, it has a lot of, we have different ministries, like aside the presidential and secretarial that are the administrative block, you as well have the finance ministry, you have the education ministry, you have the social and welfare ministry, you equally have the information and communications ministry, who've been facilitating this interview and so on. So we say kudos to them as well.
Okay.
And of course you have an auditor, because they are the ones that would be auditing the activities of the entire executive council.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I suppose you're not just about celebrating Gambia's independence anniversaries. Mm-hmm. What else do you do apart from meeting once every year to celebrate the 18th of February?
Yeah, so aside from the independence, we also would have sporting events. And as part of the sporting events, every state does it separately. And once we meet at independence, we do it together. As well, we also would have the Students' Week commemoration, because every year Gambians are graduating. So we would have a week-long activity called the Students' Week. And at the end of the Student Week, we have a graduation ceremony. At that graduation ceremony, we will award our students that are graduating from different universities. And you will also be amazed to know that we're the first Gambian Student Association abroad to introduce the Gam Diaspora Debate Championship. We had the first edition last year. So all Gambian student associations that are in other parts of the world join together in a virtual form, and we would have it. And interestingly, Gam-Ind won the first competition that we had, or the championship.
Did you win fair?
Oh, it was very fair.
Okay.
Because the judges or the adjudicators were from the Gambia, so they're quite impartial. And we will say, we partner with the associations that are here. We also would have the Gam-Ind Inter-State Debate Championship. So in as much as we are inclined towards education or academics, we also would have the sporting events, social events, home away from home. We do a lot of these things. And it brings forth a lot of us together. We also would have webinars. For example, we invite different people, different stakeholders from different personalities, let's say in media and digital media and journalism, education, health, engineering, and so on. So all in all, the association is a vibrant one, just as I said at the start. And we as well would, when it comes to the aspect of students coming to India, because at some point you could have scams here and there, because at some point, in as much as in the Gambia you have good and bad people, when you go to India too, it's more or less the same thing.
Okay. Which leads me to the next question. What do you do for the welfare of students, especially, new ones coming in?
Exactly. Even recently, we've started receiving new students, by the way, this year. So we have the Social and Welfare Ministry of the Association of Gambian Students in India. So first, it's the Education Ministry that introduces the said individuals to the educational system in India, creating awareness, ensuring that they have the much needed. Because sometimes you have students that are coming under the government scholarship. For those ones, it's barely would we have problems with it. But again, you would have some students that are coming as private students. So that becomes a problem at some point, because some people would just go, and that is the time they will start consulting us. But for this other one, we will be in the forefront. So for the social and welfare, they try by all means to provide coaching for these students, provide mentorship for them. And once they arrive in India, when it comes to their accommodation, because it's not everybody that is comfortable living at hostels or dormitories, so this said social and welfare ministry would be there helping the said students in ensuring that the logistical arrangements are done. And by the way, we also have a logistics ministry. So they try by all means that they cater for their accommodation. And also at some point we provide this medical aids to some of the students, because as an association we're not, we might say we're big, but financially we're not strong. So every student would contribute 1,000 per year as an annual subscription.
So there's an annual subscription.
Yes. Yeah. So on that annual subscription is where we would give loan to our students, and as well sometimes when students have medical emergencies, we would step in to support them. Yeah.
Okay. All right. And what about maybe integration into society in Indian society? How easy is that for somebody from the Gambia who probably, doesn't speak Indian, and I suppose it's not everywhere that every Indian speaks English. We assume it's the official language.
That is obvious. Yeah, so just as I would always tell people, we ought to accept diversity like Inferno. Because we also have Indians in the Gambia that probably cannot speak our Wolof, our Mandinka, Manjago, and all those things. So, but then usually, as far as the education is concerned, it's usually done in English. And most of our students tend to integrate into the system because they're able to cooperate with them, and they're able to see themselves as part of a larger community, a larger population, and whatnot. And by the way, in as much as we are cultured, the Indian people, I wouldn't say they're more cultured, but they're also cultured people. So all in all, like the cultures integrate, we have some similarities, we have some differences, and we accept it.
But where you have barriers, how do you help, incoming students who, maybe overcome those hurdles at the beginning? You'll find cultural barriers. Everywhere you find, cultures differ.
Yeah, so that is where the issue of the awareness and sensitization comes into play. Like the do's and don'ts of the country. We try by all means to tell our students that are coming, especially Gambians, to tell them some of the cultural sensitivities that we would have there, the religious sensitivity at some point, and all those things. So usually, by the way, Gambians are always very disciplined when they're outside. So we wouldn't face such problems usually. So on the auspices of that, you come to the realization that most of our students don't face those problems. But just as you said, at some point the lecturers could delve into their languages, maybe Hindi, maybe Gujarati, Punjabi, depending on the state that you happen to find yourself. So that happens. But Gambians cope, and at the end of the day, all of them graduate with distinction.
Which of those languages do you speak?
I think a
bit of Hindi?
Just basic Gujarati, I would say.
Gujarati.
Yeah.
Very good.
Yeah.
But they all say namaste.
Namaste, yeah.
Yeah, that's the standard greeting for everyone.
Yes, that's the standard greeting, yeah.
Fantastic. So what message might you have for new students planning to travel to India to begin, their educational life there?
Yeah, so to the new students, first I'd congratulate all of them for some having scholarship and some having admissions there on partial scholarship and whatnot. I'll tell them it's not easy. As far as education is concerned, anywhere you happen to find yourself, it's not quite easy. So India is said to be the epitome of education at some point, especially in all disciplines. But again, like I said, there are people that cross those barriers, there are people that cross those routes, and I believe down the line they would also make very good students there, and that's all I have for them. I'll tell them, stay safe, watch your fit, accept diversity, be yourself, study hard, and obviously you'll be able to conquer the challenges that will lie ahead of you.
And when you say stay safe, what should they look out for? You earlier on hinted at scams.
Yeah.
How might they be scammed?
Yeah, so the issue of the scam is not when you are already in India. It happens in a way that, like, when students are applying some of these scholarships, not the ones that come under the government, because at some point we will see things online. And as Gambians, most of us want to travel, especially this young generation. So that is where some of us would fall under the trap of these scams. They will, they could at some point write certain things, and you believe that is true, and you have all the documentations in place. So you don't consult us as an executive or as an association in India. At the end of the day, you would come and found out that, like, what existed on paper and what exists in reality or practicality are quite different. So that could be one of the ways we would say let them be quite safe and watch out for their feet and whatnot. Yeah. So, but then most of the students nowadays, the fact that they're aware of the association, they will reach out to us and we assist them in telling them, okay, this is what exists in India, this is the reality. And by the way, we try by all means, if we're sending students to any place, you have Gambians studying there. Even if Gambians are not studying there, we try by all means to reach out to the said university to know its eligibility, to know the credibility and so on. So once that is done, we can then make some recommendations for you. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Sarjo, thanks very much for coming. Sarjo A.K.
Jarju.
All right. He's the president of the Association of Gambian Students in India. It's Coffee Time with Peter Gomez, brought to you in association with Wave, Global Properties, EcoBank, Global Auto Care, Trust Bank, TAF Africa Global, JFIN, and Jar Oil. After the commercial break, it will be time for the... Sorry?
I wanted to talk a bit about our alumni, but I think time
is up, unfortunately, and we are time bound. I was going to say after the commercial break, it will be Penchum